Hey everyone, how are you? Happy Thursday. I'm glad to be here with you all. I'm going to give it a second so that StreamYard and YouTube can catch up and sync, right? Yeah, definitely. Happy Thursday. And thank you for being here with me. So let me give some greetings out. Again, thank you everyone for being here. Hello, Isis. Hello, Empress Kia. Hello, Joanna. I hope you all are having great days. Great days. And I'm just going to give it a moment just to see if anyone else is going to come into the stream before I get started. But yeah, I'm excited about sharing this information with you all, before the calendar new year starts. So, yeah. Hello, Starry Eyed. Let me see if I can do something with this banner. Let me see. Okay, let's try that. All right, perfect. Perfect. That looks a little bit better. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I don't know how long I'm going to have before Mr. Hoodoo comes in and potentially interrupts the stream. Matter of fact, let me send him a message really quick. Okay, I sent him a message. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Starry Eyed. Yeah. So, a lot of times, especially around, the beginning of the new calendar year, people ask me, what are some of the best things to do for the new year? And I'm always saying, what do I always say? Cleanse and protect, right? Because you cannot bring in goodness, you cannot bring in what's meant for you, you cannot bring in the blessings with a bunch of old, stagnant, messy, heavy, cloudy energy around you, right? And so this is going to be a good stream. Again, like I said, people ask me all the time, what do you do for the new year? And I always say, you cleanse, you protect, right? Out with the old so we can bring in the new. So, yeah, before I get into sharing some things, I do want to say this, right? Okay, so first things first, what I'm going to give you as far as this recipe, this spiritual recipe, you can modify it. And I'm going to show a couple of, ways that you can modify it. But, it's not the end all be all when it comes to spiritual cleansing baths, when it comes to spiritual recipes. Why? Because every path is different. Every path is different. Okay. So make sure that you are looking into things that go along with your spiritual path. Okay. But this is just, I kind of put this recipe together because for the most part, the items are easy to secure. You really don't have to go too much out of your way to secure them. And again, a spiritual bath is something that anyone can do unless, you have physical limitations or, you just had surgery, you're not supposed to get something wet. Or in case, you really don't have like a bathtub. But again, spiritual baths are to be done with a bathtub. If you want to take a spiritual shower, just go get a bar of Florida water soap. You can find them on Amazon, okay? So, hey Kevin, hey Coruscant, hey Beauty. Coruscant, love you, boo. Yeah, so let's let's get into it. Again, like I said, this is going to be something that anyone can do. I do not recommend this for children, especially babies, only because children's skin are much children are children. Their skin, their bodies haven't fully developed yet, and I do think it will be best for you to, if you want to use this with your children, for your children, depending on their age. Now, if they're a teenager, that's one thing. But like children, I would say you maybe want to start implementing this maybe around the age of 10 for, children if they're older. But babies, toddlers, or whatnot, I would definitely say just start with kind of washing their head with it. Okay. Again, make sure you know your allergies, things that irritate your skin. Make sure you understand that you need to check all of that. Okay. Because science and biology, they're going to interact with you on a human level, right? Because we do live here in the physical. So just make sure that you're checking everything before you dip yourself into something. So, and again, if you all have any questions, please ask them here in this chat while we are here, while we are live. So, okay, great. Babe is still at work. All right. So, I'm going to step away and kind of reposition myself so you all can see. All right. So, give me just a moment. All right. So, I am back and let me just, make sure. Let me start the cam. Okay. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. All right. So, I have some items here. Let me kind of position the camera up a little bit more. Okay. So I have some items here. And these items, like I said, you can procure them anywhere. Okay. You can procure them anywhere. This spiritual bath. Now, when it comes to mixing all of these up, you can choose if you want to use all 5 items or not. Again, it's going to really, really depend on, do you have allergies to things, right? Okay, so the first thing we are going to really, really look at is kosher salt. Okay. Everyone knows you can get salt from anywhere. Okay. The thing about getting your salt for your spiritual workings is make sure that it is non iodized. Okay. So this salt does not contain iodine unnecessary. We don't want no iodine. We want natural salt from the earth. So Celtic salt, um, kosher salt, sea salt. Those are going to be your best bet. We all know we can go to Costco, we can go to Sam's Club, we can go to BJ's and get the huge container, right? Get the huge container of salt. I definitely recommend that, especially because no one knows what you're buying salt for, okay? No one knows what you're buying salt for, okay? Hey, Flora. Okay, yeah. So no one knows what you're buying salt for. If you're going to be a spiritual worker, I definitely, 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 definitely times 1,000 recommend that you procure yourself a large supply of salt. Okay. Now, why would we use salt? Salt is a mineral, it's from the earth. We all know salt does two things because we can see the practical application of salt, right? We can also look at the myth of salt. Salt is both a protector and a cleanser, right? Salt cleanses things by way of helping to keep things away. So, being that it protects, it also cleanses. It does both at the same time, okay? It does both at the same time. How do we know this? When we are looking at holy water, Catholic holy water is salty water. Salty water. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll put that in there, worldwide collaborations. Yeah. So let me just go ahead and put this in here. Okay. So when we are looking at Catholic holy water, it's salty water. It's salty water that has been blessed and prayed over. Okay. You can make your own holy water if you want to, with or without salt, but just know that's some salty water. Okay, it's salty water. So, salt. I do recommend salt being a staple in your spiritual cleansing. Excuse me. It's very effective. Salt is probably one of the cheapest things that you can find. And again, you can go to the grocery store. No one knows what you're buying salt for. You just need salt to cook with, okay? Now, here's something that if you have a Mexican or Latin grocery store or a quote unquote ethnic grocery store, you can find eucalyptus leaves, okay? Eucalyptus is a cleanser, okay? It's a cleanser, okay? Now, I bought this from the, my former favorite Mexican grocery store when I lived in the Atlanta area. I would go there all the time to get candles and stuff like this. If you have, like I said, a Mexican grocery store, and they sell all the little packets of seasonings, herbs, and stuff like that, you can go in there, you can rack up. Okay. Eucalyptus leaves, this little container is probably going to be $1 or $2. Okay. It's going to be $1 or $2. Okay. Eucalyptus leaves, they're very cleansing. Okay. Because when we're thinking about spiritual maladies and things like that, when it comes to things like curses and things like that, that's more of those works are kind of considered more quote unquote hot, right? They're considered hot. Cursing works are considered left hand works. And when we're talking spiritually, left handed items are usually things that are dangerous, hot, right? Think of like hot sauce. Think about hot peppers, things like that. It's hot. Okay. It's considered left hand path. It's considered hot. It's considered dangerous. Eucalyptus, it's cleansing. It cools things down. Okay. It's kind of like that mentholy. It cools things down. It cleanses. Okay. Like I say, you can go get you some eucalyptus leaves, like the little Mexican grocery store bodega. Okay. They're gonna have it. Okay. Now, I think everyone knows what this is. Okay. A good old fashioned lemon. Yes, Flora, this is going to stay up. Okay. This is a good old fashioned lemon. Okay. We know lemons, they cleanse things. Okay. So, if you are Black, if you are from the Caribbean, you're West Indian, Africans, Acids, acids strip things. Okay. Acids naturally strip things. We all know, you need to clean that chicken, you need to clean that meat. What you gonna do? You're gonna more than likely you're gonna cut up a lemon. Okay. We also see this when it comes to what a bunch of household products. Household products. You get the bleach with the lemon scent, the pine sol with the lemon scent. Um, Lemon is a cleanser. It's bitter, it's not sweet, right? This is why we won't use an orange for cleansing as opposed to a lemon. Oranges are sweet. Lemons are bitter. They are naturally bitter. Acid strips things away. Limes are the same way. Limes will cleanse spiritually too, because for the most part they are sour. They're not considered sweet, right? They're not considered sweet. So even though there's a land full of citrus, right? Lemons and limes, they are going to they're going to cleanse. If you cannot find a lemon, which I hardly believe that's the case, you can work with a lime. I know a lot of people who are like workers and stuff like that in like the Caribbean stuff, because like the limes grow like on the trees and stuff down there. Lemons do too. But I've known some workers to, scrub themselves with a lime and then walk backward into the ocean, right? Salt. Ocean water is salty, right? Water is the vehicle for the cleansing, and then come out and they're spiritually cleansed. Okay. So, quick pro tip, if you're ever on vacation to the ocean or where the water is naturally salty, you can get in that water and just stand there and just spiritually cleanse yourself in the water. Okay. I've done it on vacation, right? You go on vacation to the Caribbean, the tropical, Cancun, wherever, California, salty ocean water. You can get in the salty ocean water and just spiritually cleanse yourself. Okay. This is why I said salt. It's naturally found there in the ocean. So, like I said, you go on vacation somewhere, you can just go get in the ocean and spiritually cleanse yourself. Make sure that's the focus of what you're doing, rubbing yourself down and things like that. You gotta submerge. But this is why you can make a very, very good and effective spiritual cleansing bath with just water and salt. Okay. With water and salt. Okay. But back to the lemons. The lemons, they gonna cleanse, baby. They gonna cleanse. You put that lemon in there with that chicken and you cleaning that lemon, all the gunk comes off, the oiliness comes off, all that stuff. The lemon is gonna do it. This is why I said, everything in this isn't necessarily for everyone, because some people do have citrus allergies. If you have a citrus allergy, if your skin is extremely sensitive, like mine, okay, my skin is very sensitive, you can omit the lemon. Okay. If your skin is fine, if you feel like you want to test the waters with the lemon, go right ahead. Okay. Now let me say this. We are not using lemon extract, and I do not like, the lemon juice, like the real lemon juice in a green bottle. I don't like that either. It's weird. You want to stay as close to nature as possible when you are gathering your items. Okay. I'm not cooking anything, Mel. I'm not cooking anything at all, but we do have a skillet of beef and chorizo for our tacos later that Mr. Hoodoo made this morning. But yeah, this is my lovely double oven ninja air fryer. Okay, but yeah, so lemons are easy to find. So far, we've gone over salt, eucalyptus leaves, and lemon. These two you can find in the grocery store. Okay. Again, like I said, y'all know lemon is a cleanser. Acid strips things. Acid strips. The spiritual application of the acid depends on the acid. Like, we do not use vinegar in spiritual baths. You're going to curse yourself. We don't use vinegar. Okay. We don't use vinegar for spiritual cleansing. We don't use the lemon. Okay. We don't use the lemon. Vinegar is for like sour jars and for like cursing works. Okay. So, spiritual cleanser, if you don't have an issue with lemon. If you are not allergic, if you're okay with the photosensitivity that's going to come after the citric acid, right? It's okay. Now, this is probably one of the best kept secrets, but since I love y'all, I'm going to share it with you. This is rue. This is rue. Rue, when we're talking esoterically, when we're talking about culturally, um, rue has a background of being aligned with warding off and removing the evil eye. Rue is also known as a hex breaker. Okay. So I kind of want you all to think about what we've talked about so far and the various elements of things. Okay. And you can kind of start painting a picture of why you would add these different things to your spiritual bath. Empress Kia says, my mama keeps rue. Yeah. Rue removes the evil eye. So people who just watch you and they start hating, okay, you don't need their negativity and shit. Rue. Okay. Now make sure when you get you some rue, okay, you get true rue. Because as you can see, it just looks like leaves, right? It just looks like some leaves, some bark cut up. How do you know you're going to get yourself some real rue? You need to make sure that you understand and know the scientific name. The scientific name for rue, let me see, where's my finger? Okay. Ruta graveolens. So if you are searching on an herbal website and you want to search for rue and make sure you are buying real rue, you need to look for Ruta graveolens. Okay. Ruta graveolens. Okay. So, and I want you to understand something. A lot of the time, not all the time, but a large majority of the time, when you are making your spiritual concoctions, your spiritual herbal blends, you kind of have to look and see what they do in nature. What do they naturally do in nature? How are they used and how they apply? Okay. So remember how I was saying, curses and hexes and stuff like that is seen as like hot work, it's left hand work. So we know that we can use this rue because it says Ruta graveolens or rue is an aromatic shrub traditionally used for centuries for its anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is bad. Inflammation is bad. So if rue is going to combat the bad, right, medicinally speaking, allegedly, because we all know that the government doesn't want you to use herbs for healing. That's another story. But if it's going to help with inflammatory issues, discomfort, and has a calmative effect, it is going to do the same thing spiritually. Okay. Hey, Summer Fatigue. Okay, so worldwide collaboration say all this feel like Louisiana. I'm not sure what you mean, honey. If you want to explain that, that's fine. But yeah, so rue. When I make my spiritual baths, if I feel like something is real funky, or if I have a client that's just having a lot of heavy issues, I make sure I add rue into the spiritual blend. Okay. I make sure I add rue into it. My base is always going to be salt and rue when things are really bad. If you just want to do some general cleansing, you can honestly just take a nice salty spiritual bath. But if you feel like you're getting attacked from various, angles and stuff like that, you're going to start with your base of salt. You're going to add you some rue, baby. If things feel really bad, I would add a rue before I even add lemon. I would add rue before I add lemon. Lemon is kind of going to be on the same level as salt, but if things feel like it's really, really bad, you can do a good spiritual cleansing with salt and with rue. Okay, rue gonna do it. Yeah, Kev, inflammation is always bad. Okay, so we've talked about our 4 items here. Now, sometimes people don't want to um use herbs. I get that, but if we're going to keep traditionally with what we're doing, we're going to use the things that come from nature. Okay. Now I added in a little bonus, a little some that you can do. Um, if you want to, after you have made your spiritual tea that you're gonna add, to your water in your bathroom for your spiritual bath, if you want to, you can add a couple of sprinkles of Florida water. Now, Worldwide Communications, said, what's the name of the soap? Florida water soap. But you want Florida water soap. Murray and Landman. See, this is Florida water. It is commercially available. You can go buy some on Amazon. Sometimes your Mexican grocery store, sometimes they will have this. Sometimes they will have the bar of Florida water soap. But if not, Amazon is available to you. Or if you have a Botanica, near you, more than likely they're gonna have some Florida water. Now you can add the Florida water to the spiritual bath, but honestly, it's a little bonus that you can add in. But honestly, I would stick with a combination of these 4 right here. Honestly, I'm gonna stick with a combination of these 4 with salt and rue being the base. Salt and rue gonna be your base. If you want to add in eucalyptics, that's fine. If you want to add the lemon in, that's fine. Okay. Now, this is for spiritually cleansing yourself. Now, if you want to make a spiritual cleansing, like bucket of mop water, right? Bucket of mop water. You can make your regular mop water with bleach and then just make a tea out of rue and eucalyptus and then add in a little bit of Florida water. Okay. The reason why I would not add the salt or the lemon in for your mop water is because salt is corrosive and so is the acid from the lemon. Okay. This is why we just can't apply everything to everything, because depending on where you live, that salt and this lemon might eat your floors. The salt and the lemon may strip your floors. It may strip the color from your floor. The salt may eat away, at your countertops. Okay. It may eat away at your countertops, and we don't want that. Okay, especially like if you're renting or something, like, we all know how the landlords can be. They're weird, but this is why it's good. So if you want to make some mop water or some water that you can like wipe down the cabinets with, just wipe down the cabinets, the mop water, you can wipe down the countertops and stuff. Eucalyptus, rue, and Florida water. Do not put the lemon in there unless you just put a little bit and you highly dilute it, right? Because like I said, lemon and salt are corrosive. Once again, this is why we just don't, everything doesn't apply to every type of surface, right? This is why. Okay. If you are someone that you just want to, you work in an office environment where it's rough, it's spiritually heavy all the time, you tired of the BS, you want people to leave you alone, you want to cleanse all that from the day, go to the dollar store, go get you a spray bottle, one of the little small spray bottles like the travel ones. Put you some Florida water in that spray bottle, dilute it with a little bit of water, and put a little bit of your rue tea in that spray bottle, and just spray yourself throughout the day to refresh your spirit, refresh your energy, because we all know how the office environments can be toxic. Okay. Hey, Journey with Corinne. Yes, April Dawn, I'm going to keep this up. Okay. This right here is a game changer. It's the and this is why I say practical application of things, because everything isn't for every medium. You can switch things around and you can adapt things as you need them, as you see fit. Again, if you are in the office, go get you one of those 3 ounce travel plastic spray bottles, whatever color you like, right? Put a little bit of this in here, Florida water in there, a little bit of the roux, a little bit of the roux tea, right? And for added bonus, I will add just a couple of drops of protection oil and just spray it, lightly mist yourself throughout the day if things are really hard, if things are getting weird, and you'll kind of see things not be as toxic for you. True story. One year, Mr. Hoodoo worked at this specific place. I won't name the name of the company, but he worked at this specific place. I want to say this is maybe around like 2017. He worked at this place. His boss was a real jerk. He was coming home stressed. When people come home stressed, it just makes the house weird. I'm like, babe, what's going on? He told me, I'm like, do you want me to help? I asked him, do you want me to help? He said, yeah, if you could do anything to help, I would appreciate it. So I went to Walgreens, got me a little 3 ounce travel ounce spray bottle. I put some Florida water in there. I put a few drops of protection oil in there. I prayed over it. I shook it up. I gave it to Mr. Hoodoo. I said, hey, babe, when you go to work, spray this all over your desk, spray this all over your office, and make sure that you say what you need to say. Boss, leave me alone. Go away. I just want to have a peace, calm, productive day, whatever, whatever, whatever. Baby, let me tell you something. It wasn't long after that the jerk boss that was bothering him left out for 3 months on medical leave. Dude had a brain aneurysm. He was out the office. So as you see, the irritation to Mr. Hoodoo was cleansed away. Now, we didn't cause it. It wasn't cursing. He just had a medical issue that he never took care of, and it came back to bite him. Okay? We did not curse the man. We just said, hey, just leave me alone. Okay? The last time I used something like this at the place that I was working at in 2017, the jerk who was training me, I was a new hire, the jerk who was training me, right? He got on my nerves. I ain't like him. I made some of this up, a little bit of Florida water, a little bit of protection oil, took mine to work too. Dude got transferred to another department. I ain't have to see him no more. I was so happy. Okay? So your works will work. You just have to believe in your power, because again, if God is a creator and God created you, you have the power to create and destroy. Okay? So your works are going to work. Your works are going to work. And again, these are some easy things to find that you can make a spiritual cleansing bath from. Again, if you are working with children, small children, I would not advise submerging them in this water. I would advise you just, a couple of drops on the head so it rolls from the third eye back, like to the back of the neck. That's all that I would do for like children. Once they get to be like 10, you can tell them go get your tail in that tub. You can make the bath water for them. They won't know, because you already prayed over, so they won't know. So yeah, very simple, easy, effective. Okay, effective for spiritual cleansing. So, just like we talked about before in the Q&A, right? Make sure that before you do your spiritual cleansing of yourself, make sure that you clean your bathroom. Okay, your bathroom should be clean. The sink, the tub, the toilet, sweep, mop, all the good stuff. Make sure that you shower and wash your hair before you do your personal spiritual cleansing. Okay, you need to be clean too. Then after that, you can, put it all together. Okay. And you don't need much. So when you buy a packet like this, if doing your spiritual cleanse and making your tea, a tablespoon, a tablespoon of this, a tablespoon of this, maybe like a fourth of a cup of salt. This is why I say go to Sam's Club, go to BJ's, go to Costco, get your huge container of salt. Maybe like about, fourth to half a cup of salt. And you're going to put it all in your lovely pot with some water. You're going to pray over everything. Tell everything what you needed to do. Wake everything up. Tell it what you needed to do. I do suggest that you get a pot, go to Walmart, Target, go to Goodwill, whatever, and get you a pot that's going to be designated for your spiritual work. Stop. Don't get into the habit of doing your spiritual work from the pots and pans that you cook with, okay? You need to have your designated tools for your designated work. Okay, hospital setting, same thing, Empress Kia. She said, what about a hospital setting? Same thing, especially because hospitals are very, very oppressive, right? People come there, they're sick. No one in the hospital is coming to the hospital to say, congratulations, except for maybe if it's a birth. Hospitals are very, very energetically dense. It's the sick and the dying and the dead in the hospital. Okay. The sick, the dying, the dead in the hospital. So absolutely hospital, you work, definitely hospitals. Definitely if you work in like a funeral home, you work at the morgue, like you're a police officer, like that's heavy work. Social workers, dealing with all of that, stuff like that. You better make you a little spray concoction to take with you. Okay. Make you a little spray concoction to take with you. Yeah. Sorry, I said great info. Thank you. Hey, Coruscant. She said, this is so wonderful. I have a doc appointment right now, but I'm looking forward to returning to the stream afterwards. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so worldwide collaboration say, what is sage? Sage, okay, now there are different types of sage. There's the sage that Native Americans use. There is sage that we cook and eat with. Two different types of sage. Okay, this is what make sure you're understanding your plants, your botanicals. Okay, so the sage that's popular for spiritual cleansing, that comes to us by way of like Native Americans and those peoples, right? And it has transitioned over into like Wicca, witchcraft, things like that. That sage is usually white sage or blue sage. Okay, you can use that for your spiritual cleansing, but it won't be a spiritual cleansing bath unless you take the pieces of the sage, right? Because it's in a bundle, right? It's all those, it's dried herb, it's wrapped up in a bundle. Traditionally, it's used to smoke out something. If you want to use that in your spiritual cleansing bath, you will take the sage leaves and put them in the pot, with the rest of your herbs and make a tea out of it that way. You can do that. But, you know, um, it comes to us from a different spiritual practice. So I like to just use sage if I'm burning it for spiritual cleansing. Okay. But when you go into your bathroom, you have your private time in the bathroom. Okay. And that's the difference between like sitting smoking yourself out versus having your private time in a spiritual bath in the bathroom. Because at least if you live with people, you can have your own time in the bathroom by yourself. Okay. Can you do that with money oil? I mean, yeah, you can with money oil. I would keep it separate. But yeah, if you want to put money oil in some water and shake it up and spray it on yourself, that's one thing. It's better to anoint yourself with money oil after you spiritually cleanse. Okay. Yeah. Real nurse Jackie also tells me about, yeah, hospitals are very oppressive. So like whenever I'm going to the hospital or after I leave the hospital, I'll do a quick, spritz myself with Florida water. Definitely after leaving a funeral, definitely after leaving the cemetery. Places where energetics not only are oppressive, but energetics where people are transitioning, you definitely want to spiritually cleanse. So definitely after the funeral, definitely after the cemetery. Okay. Spiritually cleanse because the energy is not conducive to happiness. Okay. Okay. Yeah. If you go to Goodwill or anything thrift store, look for stainless steel as right. Stainless steel. Yep. Stainless steel. Yep. And it will last longer. Yep. Yep. Salvia. Yep. This is why it's good to learn your botanical names of things. Okay. It's good to know your botanical names. This way, and this is why I also say, like, Amazon is great if you're in a pinch, you got that 2-day shipping. You should really be buying things from a bona fide real herbalist store. I always suggest Mountain Rose Herbs. They're out of Oregon. You can buy online. They are a true herbal supplier. Okay. They're not a spiritual botanica. They supply herbs and resins. And I know when I buy things from Mountain Rose Herbs, okay, I'm not sponsored or anything like that. But I do know that when I buy things from Mountain Rose Herbs, I'm not questioning it. Okay, you're going to question when you're buying herbs off of Etsy. You're going to question when you're buying herbs off of um, Amazon. You're not going to question Mountain Rose Herbs. Okay, if you were to ever buy any from me, I'm going to have, the actual real things because Mountain Rose Herbs doesn't have everything, especially as it pertains to the hoodoo tradition. But Mountain Rose Herbs for things that you just cannot go into the grocery store and buy. Okay. Yep. Pretty Precious says, I smudge and notice the energy change. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So no, the sage that you eat with is not the same cleansing sage. That's not the same thing. So make sure this is why we're gonna learn our herbs and learn things, right? The sage that you eat with is not the same sage that you cleanse with. Two different types of things. What about when taking babies, kids to the hospitals? Okay, so if you're taking the kids to the hospitals, I would honestly protect them first. Maybe anoint their clothes or gently anoint like the bottom of their feet with with a protection oil. Just make sure that the protection oil does not have any spicy things in it. Okay, in the protection oil because spices like cinnamon, ginger, um, crushed peppers go in a lot of hoodoo tradition type protection oils. They burn. Okay. So if you're going to use a protection oil to anoint your baby or toddlers when you're going to the hospital, make sure they do not have any spicy ingredients in there. Make sure you kind of, test your baby's skin, test the toddler's skin. You have to know these things before you apply. Okay. And if you're going to anoint them, I would anoint the tops of their heads and maybe like the back of their neck, and then maybe like anoint their torso. Okay. For going to the hospital. After you come out the hospital, you can give them a quick spiritual cleanse, spray them with a little bit of Florida water. Make sure you're testing on yourself and your children because again, things will irritate your skin. Okay. So make sure you're doing a small patch test. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So any questions? Any questions on this? Okay. And like I said, this is a very easy spiritual bath anyone can make. You can find rue. These two you're gonna find at you're gonna find the rue and like the eucalyptus, especially if it's like an Asian market, a tropical market, a Caribbean market, something like that. You're more than likely going to find these because you're not, for the most part, going to find eucalyptus and rue in the grocery store. For the most part, you're not going to find them unless it's the Mexican grocery store. Okay, and I love me a good Mexican grocery store. Okay, because you can go in there and get your glass vigil candles. You can go get you some herbs. You can go get you some tacos, and then you can leave out with what you need spiritually and with your belly full. Okay, so I love me a good Mexican grocery store. Okay, but if not, Mountain Rose Herbs for these. If you don't have a good Mexican grocery store or a good ethnic, like I said, Asian market, West Indian, African market, something like that. Okay. Okay, what didn't you know? 50% Creole, 50% Californian. I love your name. You know I'm in California, right? So yeah, what didn't you know? But yeah, like I said, salt. Oh, and when you go to the Mexican grocery store, you can probably find this. Now, this you can find and order on Amazon. It's fine. You can find this and order on Amazon. It's fine. It's fine. Botanicas will have this too. But yeah, simple spiritual cleansing bath that you can do. Now, make sure that you have. Make sure because the new year is coming. Today is what? Today is December 7th, right? Today is December 7th. Make sure that you plan your spiritual maintenance routine, for the end of December or start of the new year, however you want to do it. But you want to make sure you're getting all this done before like the second week in January. Okay. This is why I have this now so that you can gather your items and start to plan things out. Okay. Because again, people ask me all the time, what can I do for the new year? And people think they have to do some elaborate ritual. No, baby. You just need to spiritually cleanse and spiritually protect, and then, going into the new year. And we all know it, right? Us black folks, we know what you be doing before the end of the year. You be cleaning up, you're cleaning your house, you washing them clothes, making sure your house is clean, that you're not bringing any dirt into the new year. You're doing a whole ritual. You are doing a whole ritual. Okay. You just didn't know it. Okay. So black folks been knowing what's going up. And that's like a hoodoo. I can't really speak on like different countries or cultures in Africa, but that's a whole hoodoo tradition. Okay. So us taking out the trash, us, setting our intentions, us cleaning that house from top to bottom before the new year, that's a whole cleansing ritual. Out with the old, in with the new. Okay? Yeah. So it's like a week, maybe like 2 to 4 days before like the new year. I'm gonna be clean. I mean, it's not really dirty in here, but I'm gonna make sure I dust. I'm gonna make sure, I spray my Florida water, wipe stuff down. I'm gonna tell Mr. Hoodoo to go take a spiritual cleansing shower because he too big for the tub. He too tall. He's 6'5". Um, I'll make sure he go take a spiritual cleansing shower. I'm gonna cleanse myself. I'm gonna be setting intentions and everything for the new year. Okay, cleansing and protections and stuff for the new year. Okay, everybody want to start their new year, new me. The memes with the woman like walking up the steps into like the new year. Babe, you can't just say it. You have to actively work for what it is that you say that you want and bring in for the new year. And we start that with spiritual cleansing. Okay. So yeah, like this video if you have not liked this video. If it's someone that you think they may need to see this, make sure you share this, okay? And if you're not subscribed here, make sure you subscribe, honey. Make sure you subscribe. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before I close this out? Okay. Um, Let me see. Sunray Physique says, I think this what's been missing from my annual ritual. Much appreciated. Q. Yeah. And again, you're very welcome. And again, when we're talking about, and forget, I have like 3 layers on because I'm cold. When we are talking about doing the work, right? We need to understand and recognize that the work is not a one-time thing. The work is not a one-time thing. The work is work, right? If you do a lot of working out and eating right and you lose the weight, you have to maintain it, right? If there's a certain lifestyle you live, you have to maintain it. When you have a car, you have to maintain it. Fill it with gas, keep it clean, get your, oil change, your tires balanced. Everything is maintenance because nothing stays in the same state, okay? And as we live life every day, as we encounter people in certain situations every day, is you have to do your spiritual cleansing and your protection on a maintenance schedule. You decide your maintenance schedule, whether it's once a month, every 2 weeks, um, do one during the waxing moon, one during the waning moon, however you want to do it. But you have to maintain it, okay? You have to maintain it. It is spiritual work. It is root work. It's work. It's spell work. No matter how whichever phrase you use, it's still work. It's still work. Okay. Yes, cooking sage is absolutely very different. Cooking sage is different. Cooking sage is different. Thank you so much, Mel. Okay, 50% Creole, 50% California. So I'm gonna have to rewatch this one. Yeah, go ahead and rewatch. Yeah. But yeah, either way you do it, it's spiritual work. Like people ask me, like, okay, well, I have to keep doing this. Yeah, it's work. You color your hair. If you want to maintain the color of your hair, you're gonna have to, get you some more color and reapply. I go get my nails done. I gotta keep doing it if this is what I want. It's all work. You're not for the most part gonna do something one time and then that's just it's gonna be work. It's work. It's work. Okay. So is everybody good? Everyone that's here, is everyone good? Are there any questions before I end this? You are so welcome. Okay, you're so welcome. Yeah, the spiritual work is spiritual work. You have to maintain it. It just is what it is. Okay, Journey with Corinne says, when you do it enough, it becomes part of your routine lifestyle. Absolutely. And that's the difference, right? There are people who get their, and I'm just giving this as an example. I'm not shaming anyone. If you get your body done, you get lipo or something, you still have to eat decently and work out to maintain it because you can get some more fat. Okay. You can have more fat, find itself where you don't want it. Okay. That's why when people are like wanting to lose weight and everything like that, they say it's not a diet. Diets are temporary. You have to live the lifestyle. You have to have things become routine. Okay. Things should be routine. It should be part of your lifestyle. You have to fit that in. You have to create that lifestyle. So you have to get used to doing things. Okay. And a lot of times people, when it comes to spiritual work, they give up or stop doing things. One, before they've created a routine. Two, before they get fully educated. And three, when they don't, quote unquote, see results like the next day. Okay. It doesn't work like that. You have to create the lifestyle. When you create the lifestyle and you create your routine, things flow much smoothly because you're repeating things at scheduled intervals. Okay. When you're doing things at scheduled intervals, there's less likely, things are just going to work so much more smoothly when you do things at the designated intervals that you set up. You have to decide, you have to assess your life and see, okay, are people out here attacking me? Or is my life relatively good right now? You have to create your schedule for your spiritual maintenance. Okay. You have to create it. I can't tell you. You have to create it, but then you have to stick to it. You have to do it. Yes, it's work. Okay. Yep. Yep. You have to decide that. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. But if you have a lot of chaos going on in your life, things just ain't right. You may need to do your spiritual cleansing and your protection often, like once a week. It's work, but you still have to do the work, even spiritual work, for the lifestyle and for the results that you want. Okay. All right, my loves. Any other questions? Oh, you just sub. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for subbing. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate you being here. Yeah. So, definitely, 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 like I said, it's a lifestyle. I live the lifestyle. Um, and no one has to know what you do. I mean, if you live with people, you can figure out ways around it, but it's a lifestyle. The spiritual life is a lifestyle, the same as any other lifestyle is. Okay. It's a lifestyle. So I would encourage you all to get your spiritual plan together, what you want to do for the new year, what you kind of want to bring in for the new year. Start attuning your mind to that. Start getting your energy right. check the people that you hang around. If they are no good for you, if they vibrating on a different frequency, it's okay to let them vibrate over there, right? You don't want the people who have scarcity mindset, desperation mindset. You don't want people who is always the white man. You don't want people who don't take accountability. You don't want those people in your circle. You want people who are at your same level or higher. Okay? Because you're all going to be vibrating the same. Okay? Like attracts like. Birds of a feather flock together. For anyone who did not check out the Esoterics of Energy, the 12 Universal Laws video, I advise you to go look at that video because I explained it a lot in there. So definitely start preparing, for your next year, for calendar year 2024, right? Because the new year doesn't really start until spring. Wink, wink. And just get ready. Just get ready for it. Our next video, our next spiritual bath series video is going to be spiritual protection. And I'm doing these in order, okay, so that the concepts are understood. You can't protect if it's not clean. So you need to cleanse yourself first, get all the muck and yuck off, and then you spiritually protect. Okay? Putting on spiritual protection, and you still dirty, is like putting on clean clothes and you ain't took no shower. Who is doing that? Okay? We're not doing that. We don't do that. Other folks may do that. And you know what, folks, I'm talking about because I see it all the time. I see them in these chat rooms and these Facebook groups and stuff, and they talking about they need protection from such and such. Honey, you need to cleanse first. You need to cleanse all their yuck off first. But they be out here putting their protections. When you putting your protections up and you still dirty, you keeping all that stuff on the inside. You keeping all that stuff on you. So we spiritually cleanse first, and then we protect. So our next spiritual bath series video, I'm a show you some things that you use for a spiritual protection bath and how you can change it, based on what you want to do. Okay? All right. So if you like stuff like this and you are not a member of my Patreon, if you want to learn spirituality, magic, stuff like that, I am teaching from the ground up on my Patreon, and we're about to get into herbalism. But I just wanted to put this out here to kind of spark the conversation and have you all starting to think about herbalisms, the legends behind herbs, names, what they do in nature, how they're applied in different ways, because that's going to give you information as to what you can use for different things. Okay. So with that being said, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Like this video, share this video, subscribe if you're new. And yeah, so over the next couple of days, I'm going to be reading on Diddy. Okay. We're gonna be all up in his spiritual tea. I'm gonna be reading on Diddy. I'm gonna be reading on Shirley Strawberry. We're gonna have another spiritual bath series video coming up. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Okay. All right. Thanks again. I love you all. I'm gonna get out of here.